What's up guys, it's Nick True here, and today I want to share with you why we choose to splurge on certain things, and specifically what we've splurged on within the Airstream. See, most people think that you have to be insanely frugal to be good with money, but I don't think that way. In fact, I believe in splurging, and I'm going to show you why you should too. See, I don't think you have to be a spending Nazi to be good with money. I think that right now you're spending a lot of money on stuff that you don't actually really want. In fact, I think that if you were only spending on the stuff that you really wanted and the stuff you cared most about, you would have a lot more money that you could save and a lot more to spend on stuff that actually brings you value. For us, the Airstream really matters. This is our home. This is where we live, and we don't plan on leaving anytime soon. We plan to spend a couple of years in here, and even after that, we're not really sure we're ever going to sell it. And this is a tiny, tiny space. We've only got about 180 square foot, and we spend a lot of our time here. And so we wanted to make it exactly how we wanted it, and we wanted it to feel like home. Here are just some of the places that we really splurged and spent a lot of money to get what we wanted. First off is the stickwood. Now this is hands down the most expensive thing that we put inside the Airstream. This stuff runs about $15 per square foot, but it looks incredible. You can also see that we put the stickwood in the bathroom and completely painted the walls in here. We used a lot of stickwood to make these walls look way better. We ended up spending about $2,000 to get it to cover all of the walls that we really wanted it to cover. Without the stickwood, this whole Airstream feel, the whole look, the whole vibe for our Airstream wouldn't feel anything like it does. Another expensive thing was the wood we used for the desk and the kitchen table. This was a teak butcher block. It was incredibly expensive, but we love it and it looks awesome. Another thing we did was, in order to fit the desk in here in the way that we wanted it for us to both be able to work, we had to reconfigure the entire bench seating area in the kitchen. We went from a regular booth style seating to this rounded seating that goes all the way around the back like you see here. When it comes to the bedroom, we couldn't leave it alone either. We actually ripped out the original framing for the beds, and we built a whole new custom framing that jacked the beds up about 6 or 7 inches. We also replaced the center nightstand completely with a brand new one, and again used that butcher block back here. Now you may be asking why in the world we have 2 beds in the first place, but we also put a lot of thought into that. With a 27-foot trailer, if you put a regular sized bed in here, the bedroom basically becomes useless except for the bed. You can literally do nothing in there except sleep. With 2 twin beds like you see here, we're able to have a lot more storage, and most importantly, we have access to put in that kitty door between the inside and the exterior compartment, and that's where we keep the kitty litter box, and we're able to let the cats have their own little domain. If you've seen my other RV video, you know why that's so important. Now, while we did spend a ton of money on product, we actually did almost all the work ourselves. Basically, the only thing we didn't do for our renovation was a couple of exterior things related to the Airstream and the actual metal, sheet metal areas that I don't feel comfortable messing with. We're extremely lucky because both of our parents actually are really helpful when it comes to redecorating, redesigning, and building new things. So we were able to lean on my dad a whole lot for the actual construction pieces and getting his help to put things together. And then Hannah was able to lean on her mom, and they really came together to figure out what would look best, the color scheme, the layout, the design, and actually making this all fit and look good together. So we did save a ton of money by doing all the actual labor with ourselves or with our parents, but that doesn't mean this wasn't costly. We spent a lot of money on this, but to us, it's worth it. See, the key with spending money is to get super clear on what it is that you want most and the value that that's going to provide for you. To pay for all of this, I ended up working a massive amount of overtime for about 4 or 5 months straight, working 60 to 70 hours a week in my old job. Sure, I didn't like working that much. It was not fun at all, but I loved our Airstream, and I knew that we were going to be spending a lot of time in here. We live in here, we work in here, we pull it, we travel with it, we spend the vast majority of our lives inside of this tiny little home, and it needs to feel awesome to us. And to do all this, we were willing to make sacrifices in order to make it happen. The reason I make this video is because I want to show you that getting ahead with money doesn't mean being frugal to the point of never getting to have any fun at all ever. That's not the case. You make money. The point is to eventually spend it. Getting ahead with money is about getting incredibly clear on what it is that you actually want to happen, both in the long term and in the short term, and then figuring out the sacrifices that you're going to have to make that happen, and then making them. It's okay to spend money as long as you've got it in the budget and it doesn't infringe on your long-term goals. If you got it, spend it, splurge. That's okay. You shouldn't feel bad about it as long as you're still working towards whatever that is out in the future for you. So that's it, guys. I hope you learned something in this video. I hope you realize that it's okay to splurge as long as it doesn't infringe on the long-term things. And tell me, I'd love to hear, what's one thing that you typically like to splurge on? Please tell me in the comments down below. Remember, I can teach you how to think about spending money this way, but I can't make you do it. The choice is yours. I'll see y'all next time.